Hey everyone, welcome back to the 5th devlog in the series. I still can't believe there's so many people interested in my solo developed game. You guys are extremely kind and motivating me, and I just wanted to say thank you guys. So what kind of progress have I made since the previous devlog? Well, I finally started working on the world for the game. Until now, everything that you guys have seen was a demo world I created for testing. I first started the world by opening up Photoshop and planning out the layout for the map. I gave it a rough layout before deciding where I wanted to start building, and then began adding much more detail from there. As you can see, the first town that will be created in the game is named Wildebarg. It's a small village placed in the southwest of Cedartop Forest and will be a major lumber export. I began creating the town in Unreal Engine, and it's far from finished, but I think it's looking great so far. Oh, and there's also a bandit camp being worked on, but I'm not going to give too many spoilers away. If you would like to keep a closer eye on development and see me creating this world live, then I really encourage you to stop by the Twitch streams. I'm live every Monday through Friday starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can come by, say hi, and let me know you came from YouTube. That's always super motivating for me to know that I need to make more devlogs. I was finally able to get another combat stance into the game, other than sword and shield and archery. Now the player can have two-handed weapons that I've been calling heavy melee. Getting in these new combat stances takes a lot longer than you would think because I need about 4 new animations for every attack direction, making that a total of about 16 animations minimum. Probably a little bit more because I like to add slight variations to each attack so it doesn't feel so repetitive. But after all of that, I think heavy melee came out really well and it's extremely satisfying to use. The weapons feel as if they have weight behind them, although because of their weight, the player will only be able to hold up a block for a small amount of time. This is one of the small differences that makes heavy melee feel different. I'm still working on adding other features to help it feel more unique from light melee weapons. Armors are also beginning to make it into the game. Honestly, this is my favorite part to work on, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a crazy amount of clothes and armors that make it into the final game. Creating these armors are made pretty easily thanks to a program called Marvelous Designer. This is an amazing tool that allows you to create 2D shapes in one window, tell it where to connect, and then simulate it as you watch it work its magic. Then you can go in and pull on pieces to move them where you want. After this program, I just have to retopologize them in Blender, which is made easy with Exoside Quadrimesher. The worst part is having to weight paint the armors, which is just a way of telling the bones what vertices to affect. Thankfully, I can project the weight paints from the skin onto the armor, which works about 90% of the time, with the added benefit of making it match perfectly if it does. This is important because my idea for the armor system was to have a base clothing layer that the player would equip, and then build their own modular armors by mixing and matching different overlay pieces like chest plates, leggings, helmets, and gloves. I'm really hoping you guys end up loving this armor system as much as I do. I've also been learning a lot of optimization techniques. Creating an open world game becomes a nightmare for performance. As you can imagine, they are extremely demanding games and require a lot of optimization. One of the greatest tools for this in Unreal is called level streaming. This allows you to create areas of the world that can be loaded and hidden during the game so you don't have to process the entire world all at once. I've started building the open world using this tool, but obviously as you can see here, you don't want to just hide things like mountains when the player gets too far away. Instead, we're going to replace it with a lower resolution mesh, also known as an LOD. Every game like this has LODs, they're pretty essential for performance. Speaking of performance, many of you might know this already, but Unreal Engine has a built-in tool called the Foliage tool. It allows you to create things like grass, trees, rocks, and many other environmental props really fast, and the best part is it's great for performance because it uses hierarchical instance static meshes. But I kind of ran into a problem with it. It does not allow you to have much customization over it. You can use blueprints with this system, but you won't get the benefit of performance, as the meshes inside blueprints will not be instanced. That being said, I created my own personal foliage tool. It allows me to create blueprints with custom logic, such as these rocks here that you can see, Usually I would have to go around and individually place each piece of foliage around, and it would become super tedious, and not to mention a massive time sink when the world has thousands of these rocks and cliffs. I created tools to paint and erase these blueprints, and with the push of a button, it'll get all the blueprints placed around, and strip their static meshes and replace them with instant static meshes. Oh, and this can be scaled to do whatever I tell it to. We can create an entire forest with the push of a few buttons. Creating tools like this is essential, as working by myself takes a lot longer than having an entire team. The next plan is to use this tool to place rocks down to create cliff faces, as that takes up a lot of my time. It's not going to be easy to do, but hopefully by the next devlog I will have everything working. And that's about everything. The game is coming along really well and faster than I expected. I've been having so much fun creating this game and having you guys along for the ride with me. But before I go, I really would like to thank my Patreon supporters. You guys are the biggest reason that the game gets to see so much progress in very little time. So thank you to Ethan, Zcat, CatGod9, Orgnash, Code Malone, Midnight, Lazy Guru, and Zab. I can't thank you guys enough. It means the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more devlogs. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.